we have a pretty unique idea with the way that we build our watches. So that's why we do a lot of our manufacturing in-house. It gives us a lot of flexibility and allows us to make things in the US. We weren't huge watch buffs, so we started doing research. We knew we wanted to make a 100% American-made watch, but then we realized that nobody was manufacturing a modern watch movement in the United States. So that's when we decided to turn to the vintage watches, and that was kind of like an awakening for us. Once we started researching these watches and getting really into them and just seeing how unique and beautiful and timeless they were, that we were just like, this is what we have to do. We didn't really think twice about it. And one of the main things that drew us to these watches was the beautiful mechanisms that will last forever. The watch movement itself is kind of being scrapped because people just want to make a buck off the pocket watch case. So it definitely has kind of turned into a mission for us to salvage, restore, and preserve these pieces of American history.
Each and every watch in the American Artisan series is one of a kind, and they're built using the antique pocket watches made 100 years ago. And so one of those watch companies is called the Ball Watch Company, one of the most famous pocket watches in the world in the late 1800s. And those were the pocket watches that were on the railroads. And so just that story of the history of Webb C. Ball creating the Ball Watch Company from Cleveland, Ohio, if you own what we call the Cleveland, that's a story that you can tell to anyone that asks about your watch.
The old American watch companies built things to such a quality that it's never going to be replicated again. And what's really cool is these companies all really had their own footprint because everything was in-house. The engraving, the decoration. The closer you look at one of these old watches, the more you see. There's just so much being built there.
And that's really why we take these old pocket watches and salvage them, restore them, and recreate them. Each one, to me, is a piece of American history that was scrapped and thrown away. And I'm a history nerd, and I just thought it was a shame.
Every watch is one of a kind. The movement inside of it is one of a kind. All of the finishes on the case that we do are one of a kind. And it's an eye catcher. It's something that when somebody sees it on your wrist, they ask you about it because it tells a story. And then when they ask you, you have a whole story to tell. So that is really what differentiates our watch from companies who make 10,000 of the same thing.